So, on that note, well, before we get interrupted again with Donald, welcome to the Game Awards. So, on the 12th of December, we skip my on the 12th of December, or 13th, you might, but maybe like half 12. Anyway, on the 12th of December, the Game Awards will be presented. We do a watch party every single year. If you don't want to miss it, join us on Twitch if you're interested. Best watch party on Twitch, honestly. That's what I keep getting told anyway. But the nominees just came out yesterday. Obviously, I wasn't live yesterday, so now we get to go over today. I'm not watching the video again. I did watch it. We're gonna go over each nomination. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna criticize things I do and don't like about it. I feel like there's some gaps in the. I feel like there's definitely some gaps in the Game Awards itself, like in nominations and what categories there are, for example. And it just feels like we're going around in one circle non-stop. How's it going, Tendy? So it's just kind of like, can we just like, I just feel like it's just a bit, some of this is a bit silly. But let's start anyway. Let's start voting to see where it takes us. So we go straight in with the big one. Oh, okay. So instead of doing this at 29, which would make perfect sense, you want us to go straight in with the big one. So let's start off with the game of the year. So we've got Astrobot Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. That's the DLC. I'll get to that. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And Metaphor ReFantazia. I need to put a premise out there. We're Final Fantasy fans here. If you don't like it, suck it. So I never played Balatro yet, and now I have to play Balatro. I've heard this game blew up this year. Really did not expect this to be in the running for Game of the Year. I really didn't expect this to be there for the Game of the Year. I was genuinely surprised and happy to see a small game like this like blow up, and just like the way it has. And so shout out to Balatro. And if Balatro wins, it's not going to win, but if it wins, I will genuinely be happy for it. I'll be like, let's go. Get wrecked, all the big companies. Astrobot, great to see, was so well received on release. Platformer, people love it. It was a free game that gets given to you with PS5, but then they released a full $70 version of the game, which has like tons of levels. It took a 5-hour experience to a 30-hour experience. They continuously update stuff. They're giving out. They're working on some DLC that they're going to give out for free, by the way, free DLC. And also they are releasing speedruns each month or something like that for people to do for the community. Like, you don't have to do them, but they're there. They're new levels and stuff, which I think is really cool. Black Myth Wukong, not surprised to see that there. Not surprised. So my predictions were going to be these 3 games would definitely be up anyway. Black Myth Wukong absolutely should be up for it. It was well received. It did extremely well on release. It got a huge rating. Just like Astro did on release. Absolutely fantastic. We're coming back to this. We're going to circle back to the Elden Ring in a minute. Metaphor ReFantazia. Haven't played it, but everyone I know who has played it says that it's like amazing. As expected from Atlas, delivered an absolutely phenomenal, out there game, out of the world game. It's different away from the whole, it's a step away from the, as far as I know, it's a step away from the usual high school Persona. I think it's still kind of Persona-y with the mechanic, but like it's still a step away, more of a fantasy game, which they got, which is nice to see. They got skins where you can have the high school uniforms and Personas. Sega, Atlas, let it go. Have a separate IP. Outside of that, I've heard only incredible things about this game, and I've heard it's genuinely a must play. Even if you haven't played Persona, you want to start an Atlas game, probably just start with Metaphor. You might have a great time with it, and then you don't have to feel like you have to know anything about the Persona world. That was great. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Okay. So, I'm going to be real. It's a DLC. Now, I've seen a lot of people argue some real... I don't understand why people make such a big deal over tiny things and complain about remakes being in here. This is a game created from the ground up. Just because there's some characters that are in the original game and some of the soundtrack and some of the world building It's not the same game as it was 27 years ago. All right? The people saying remakes shouldn't be in the Game Awards or Game of the Year don't know what you're talking about until you go play it. Stop yapping. We'll get to that. But like honestly, there's nothing wrong with this game being because it's a project that's made from the ground up. And if you've played and experienced Rebirth, you'll understand how incredible that experience is. We're coming back to Rebirth. But people are saying how DLC shouldn't be in the Game of the Year. And I agree, because now I want to make this precedent very clear, right? I want to make it very clear. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, absolutely phenomenal experience. I loved playing it. I loved the DLC. I'm an Elden Ring fan. I'm an Elden Ring fan that says that this shouldn't be here. I know all the Elden Ring streamers and all the Elden Ring fans said, this is nothing's better than this, even though they've not played any of these other games. Like, they all say, nothing's better than the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. It's like a big DLC the size of the game. Yeah, that's fine, right? And that's great, you've had a great time. I did too. Still don't think it should be in there. Because there should just be a DLC of the year. We'll get into the details of that in a second. But like, it's 90% of the assets in this are already in the base game. In terms of the design of the game, how they do things. Don't get me wrong, the look of it and it's fresh. But like, I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff they can just reuse a lot of the coding in this. That's what this is created from. It's the same game. It's the same. It runs exactly the same. There's no difference. How's it going, Trev? Good to see you, man. There's no difference between them in terms of, apart from they've got some new bosses and stuff, you know? That being said, about 8 of the bosses are also in the base game. They did, yeah, okay, but the adding weapons and adding some music is not, oh, it's a whole full game, you know, like, don't get me wrong, the music, like I said, I love Shadow of the Erdtree, the DLC, but just, instead of causing an unnecessary, you know, thing, this should be Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 was so well received as well, and I feel like this is where Silent Hill 2 should be. And I think most people would agree with that, because they're all games created fresh or created from the ground up. I feel like this should be Silent Hill 2. And then there should be a separate category for DLCs. How's it going, heroes? And when I mean a DLC of the year, I don't mean, oh, does that mean skin packs can be in the DLC of the year award? Oh, my CS skins or my Valorant skins should be the best skins ever. Oh, my Overwatch. I'm not talking about nonsense like that. I mean, like, genuinely things that give you the base game, that you have the groundwork of the full game, and then it gives you more of that game in a fresh way. The Horizon Forbidden West DLC and the Zero Dawn DLC, to be fair, like, did a great job with that. Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy VII Remake did the same. Lots of games do that. They add like 20-30 hours of experience, depending on the size of the game. Like the Messenger DLC was a small indie game, but they added DLC to that game. You know, you have to look at it from, you have to use brain cells, right? When I say a DLC of the year, you have to use some brain cells here. To read into what I'm saying, I don't mean skin packs or horse packs. Not every DLC should be included. I mean, like, and this horse thing's obviously a joke about Oblivion, but like, realistic DLCs, things that really add and enhance the experience of the game. Those kind of DLCs. And in that case, Elden Ring would absolutely knock it out of the park. And in terms of some other categories, I think they should be nominated for some of the stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, this is probably one of the best DLCs ever released. In terms of the amount of content that was given, how it delivered. You know, we definitely got, I didn't count how many hours, actually. But we definitely got half a game's experience. It's half the size of a normal game. It's half the size of Elden Ring. Potentially. Or a third. I think it's a third size, right? I don't think Stellar Blade, I think there were too many bangers this year for Stellar Blade to make it. I think Stellar Blade released last year, they would have been up for the running for game in the year. It's unfortunate, but I wasn't expecting this to be, well, actually, I knew this was going to be a hit. I knew this was going to be a hit. This was obviously going to be a hit. This was a surprise, but I like the fact that it's there, and this I kind of, on release, I knew it was going to be a hit. But I do feel like this should be Silent Hill 2 spot. Sorry, Elden Ring fans, right? But it is what it is. Like, you know, it's a DLC. It's not a full game. You know, it's a third of the size of normal Elden Ring. It's great, and if you've got loads of replayability, that's great. That's Elden Ring in a nutshell. but it's not a game of the year. It's a DLC of the year. It could go in the ongoing category, but the ongoing category is poorly worded and it means something else. So my vote goes to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Let's go! Right. That's the big one out of the way. Oh, wait! Best game direction. And we got the same 6 games. Whoa, that's... What am I going to do? Wait. So we just had a major conversation about Game of the Year. And the next category is the same 6 games. Woo! Points for originality. Dude, there are other games with other game direction that were better than some of these games. Like, don't bother just to put them all in the same category. The problem is, the people that decide who are nominees are review websites or, you know, and IGN and all these kind of websites all have influence on it. The wrong people, basically. I'll get into game direction. Award for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game design. And I'm going to judge these games off of that, because I've done enough research into these games to know what they are. Make sure I didn't miss it with chat. I agree with what you're saying. A DLC is a standalone game, but that game already came out in a different year. Yeah, Elden Ring actually won Game of the Year in 2022. So, yeah, absolutely agree that Popstar should be Silent Hill 2. I think most people agree it should be Silent Hill 2. Same for Stellar Blade, because I think it was a Game of the Year nominee up until very recently. Okay, can we say then, based off of that frame of thinking, Rebirth is a DLC? No. Why would you say that? It's a sequel game. How did you come to that conclusion, Trev? It's a sequel. That's like saying Kingdom Hearts 2 isn't Kingdom Hearts 2. It's a DLC to Kingdom Hearts 1. That doesn't make any sense. That legitimately doesn't make sense. It's a full, well, 300-hour experience, depending which way around, but we'll call it 100-hour. I don't know how you've come to... I know that you just defend FromSoft from everything. I'm not attacking FromSoft, by the way. It's got nothing to do with FromSoft ain't done anything wrong here. All right? It's the people that put this up in the wrong nominee. All right? It's a sequel game, bro. It's a sequel video game. That's like me saying, you know what? Elden Ring is Dark Souls 4, mate. You know? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. That's the same argument, bro. We're getting to direction. I just want to make sure I've got... because it's a chat discussion. I just don't understand some of the thoughts that go into things, you know. Like, and to be fair, you don't even have to play Remake to actually know what's going on in Rebirth to give you a recap story, and you don't have to play the original game to even know what's going on in Remake and Rebirth. We'll get to the as I go and said, we'll get to the next year thing. That's just another dumb category, which I'll get to. No, Rebirth is not a DLC to Remake. It's a sequel game. It's a trilogy of games. It's like Lord of the Rings 1, Lord of the Rings 2, Lord of the Rings 3. 3 different movies to create a bigger universe. You could say that Elden Ring is kind of like... It's not the size of the game. I don't actually agree. I don't think Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is the size of a game. It's just that the expectations of size of games have dropped so bad because of bad companies like Ubisoft and all that, release crap quality games that people just expect 30-hour experiences. There's still 30-hour experiences being released, and funnily enough, none of them are on this list. So... the DLC is a good example of what size of DLCs can be, and I hope other companies do it. That's what I like about this, is that they actually did put in, so you can make big DLCs, there's no reason to not to. You can charge $30 for it, sure, but it was worth it, you know? But it's about the third of the size of the base game, and anyone who says the size of the full game hasn't played the original game, or hasn't played the base game of Elden Ring very much. Or they just rushed the game. I don't know if Trev's just trolling me anymore. But you don't need to play the story to play the game. It is true. You actually have to play Elden Ring to get to the DLC, which is good, by the way. I actually like the fact that that's a thing. Astro is similar to the first Astro, though. Are you talking about this? So let's get on to game direction in a minute. Let me just want to make sure that I've missed the chat in chat. Hold up. I'm just making sure I've missed chat and I have to get what I have to say out loud. Right. Okay. No, sorry, this is my final step because this is gonna come up on every category. Shadow of the Erdtree is not a sequel. It's a third of the size of the Elden Ring. And when you finish it, you'll agree with me because it is about a third of the size of the base game, which is fine, but it's still massive and it's a great representation and it creates a fresh experience. Doesn't mean that it's a full game. Maybe in Ubisoft terms, it's a full game, but it's not a full game. All right? Okay. Right. Best game direction. Okay? I mean, I've finished Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. I know how big it is, right? So, best game direction. I'm sorry, Balatro just think it's just put there. I think the idea is that they went card game, roguelike, but they existed before. Slay the Spire existed, by the way. I haven't played Balatro. We need to play Balatro. Let's see. Game direction, creative Minivision, game design. So, it's hard because game of the year, and it's the same 6 games, but these 6 games that got to the game of the year is probably because of the game direction itself. Heroes, would you agree that Metaphor is creative and innovative direction for design? Or do you feel that it's classic Atlas, so it's not that innovative or creative, despite the fact that the game's amazing? So you do. So in that case, Rebirth is definitely also in there as well, because Rebirth is very creative, very innovative, how they gave you that open world experience. Something that no one saw coming or had the expectation was actually going to happen until we started playing it. I'm not going to talk about story spoilers or anything Rebirth, by the way. I'm very aware that we are a Final Fantasy community, but not everyone's played it. So I'm just saying like some little things. Story existed already. Yeah, but then they also took creative measures to fill in plot holes. Think about this in Rebirth. I don't know. I can't speak fully for Metaphor. And I think I agree that Metaphor should be there too. Rebirth should be there too because they use really creative ways and was innovative in how they can use certain old NPCs that we know, like Chloe at the farm, and give a whole side quest to that, right? Which something they didn't have to do, but they did it because original fans will connect with that character, but new fans don't need it. But it's a very innovative way of filling in plot holes and gaps. And if you've played the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They really fill in lots of plot holes that the original game's full of. Sorry, the original Final Fantasy VII is not perfect, chat. Whoa! But yeah, I think that for game direction, I agree. I think these two should be on here. We'll come back to controversial game in a minute. I don't think Balatro could be on here. I think Stellar Blade could be on here for game direction. Because they used the Sekiro methodology, like parry mechanic gameplay, and didn't make it like hard mode. From what I know, it's not hard mode. Well, I haven't finished yet. You're just like, whoa, you know, just relax. Or Silent Hill. I said Silent Hill should have replaced Shadow of the Erdtree anyway. The reality being, Stellar Blade, potential game direction. I mean, you could say this. Is that for a full game or for the DLC? You could incorporate DLC in this category because it is on the game direction how they move forward. We'll come to that in a minute. Silent Hill 2, they were innovative and creative in recreating the world of Silent Hill 2, just like Rebirth did. So they arguably Silent Hill 2 should be in there as well. Maybe not Astrobot. I don't know. You've played Astrobot, said. Outside of creative levels, is it anything innovative or that different to the free version that we got? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm talking about specifically for game direction. I didn't say it shouldn't be in the Game of the Year. I think it should be up for Game of the Year. I think it should be a great nominee for Game of the Year. But for game direction, awarded for creative vision, innovation in game direction and design. This is what I'm gonna do. We're not just clicking buttons just because we'll pick our favorites, right? I'm saying, and I think I'm still voting Rebirth, by the way, but more than Silent Hill. I don't know. I think that I agree. I think Astrobot is fine being in there as well. I feel like Astrobot deserved every accolade it got, to be quite honest with you. Got 27 more votes. We ain't doing them all. You'll see why. It's a discussion. discussion period. We're having fun. Yeah, we're gonna make sure Rebirth wins everything, so we're voting for Rebirth anyway. But rigged. But I like to discuss each game, and this is you guys have played some games that I haven't, so I do feel like it's a bit of a weird that it's the same 6 games, but maybe you could argue the game direction got them Game of the Year. Black Myth Wukong, I've watched a lot of it. I don't know if Wukong should be on there. It's good gameplay, but I don't think there's anything. Oh, I guess no. Yeah, but no. Yeah, we're gonna vote this anyway. But yeah. Oh my god, it's almost the same 6 games. Best narrative for storytelling, narrative, development in a game. Okay, so these are some good games up here. We got a bit of a. I didn't talk about Shadow of the Erdtree, but I feel like I spoke about it enough. For game direction for the DLC, I feel like yeah, it's fine. It did progress forward, but all they did was give us different boss fights that were harder, and give us more to explore. I didn't feel it was much. Doesn't win that award anyway. Okay, so Rebirth, storytelling as a Final Fantasy VII fan, whether you're new or old to Final Fantasy VII, I think Rebirth nailed it on the head. They absolutely nailed it. I've said my criticisms about it during the Rebirth thing. I'm not going to talk about Rebirth. It's hard to not talk about Rebirth, I know, but like, I'm avoiding the spoiler conversation. The internet's always mad. People just hate Final Fantasy, man. People just hate Final Fantasy for some reason. If you're not a Final Fantasy fan, people just hate on it all the time. Or they've only played Final Fantasy 14 and then crap on all the other ones because it's not an MMO. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth came out in the wrong month because it was slap bang in the middle of all these other big games. But people who played it said it was an incredible, by the way. But I don't think it's like... I'm more interested in the Hawaii one than this one. I think it's a direct sequel to the previous one. Metaphor Fantasio. Storytelling's really good. Well, it must be. I imagine the storytelling's been incredible so far. Silent Hill, I had the story did amazing on there, and I can only imagine Hellblade 2 storytelling is as good as the first one. But I'm still voting Rebirth. Because for me personally, this is my vote as well. You can vote in your own wing. But for me personally, I love the story of Rebirth. Okay? And even if I play Metaphor now, I don't think my opinion is going to change with storytelling. You know, it's hard to not vote for your favorite game, you know, and it's just the way it is. But yeah, I've played a lot. I have kind of researched the games though. I do know how these games are done. I'm just picking Rebirth. For me personally, you can log in and vote yourself if you want to do your own vote and help another game get it. Don't get me wrong. You don't have to have played them to understand what's happening. I've watched quite a bit of Wukong, even though I haven't played it, believe it or not. Right. Okay. But I understand what you're saying as well. Like, don't get me wrong. I was going to vote Rebirth anyway because the story touched me for what it is. Look, all I'm going to say is, you know, Gold Saucer chapter. Alright, look, I'm just leaving it there. Right. Okay. Best art direction for creative and technical achievement in the artistic design of an animation. So we've got Astrobot again. Yeah, I can see it. They're very clever with the interactions in that game. Black Myth Wukong. I know exactly what they're going with. If you've seen some of the game or played it, the cutscenes are some of the coolest cutscenes you'll ever watch. Like, there's some, like, it's animated and everything. Honestly, it's really good. I completely agree with this being here. It's not just the gameplay why this is in it. It's not gameplay why it's in it. Again, there's nothing artistic. It's the same. This isn't crap on Elden Ring Day. I promise you. But this shouldn't be. This is the wrong game. This is the wrong game. Don't get me wrong. The game looks great. But the DLC didn't make anything look better than the game already looked. You know, the game looked good enough as it is. So it's not. Like, I don't crapping on it. I had a great time playing Shadow of the Erdtree. You know I did. I like how they don't say it's DLC. It's called Shadow of the Erdtree. But you know, I don't think it's as good as what they got in here. If you've seen what's in Wukong, you'll agree with me. If you've seen the cutscenes in Wukong, you'll agree with me. And I'm like, wow, I didn't expect that. I agree with Astro being in it. I agree with Metaphor, although it is an anime game. It's not hard to do it with an anime game. So I'm curious on what they mean by art by that. And then my personal favorite that made this list, Neva. And my vote is 100% going to Neva. Yeah, I did. Wukong has no fingers. Neva gets my vote. If you've played it, it's like, if you haven't played Neva, it's like 5 hours. But it's a game that tells a story, just like Gree, that through art and music and sound, no dialogue in the game, no spoon-feeding story. It's just a beautiful game all the way through, and the art is what hits you in the feels. So absolutely, I was so happy to see this be nominated, honestly. I think it's been nominated for something else as well. It won't win? I mean, you never know. I'm surprised Celebrate didn't make the art, but hey, you know, that's maybe a different kind of art. One thing, what I love about Astro said is the interactions, even from the original game, how they interact with each other and make, you know, they make jokes without even doing any dialogue. Okay, best score and music. Okay, juicy. Now the best thing is that there's a sound design one as well. I know there's a sound design nominee, so that's awesome. Astrobot. The music has always been good, but I don't think it's on this level and on this level and on this level. I don't know about the soundtrack to Silent Hill 2. So, Rebirth, look, guys, it's like, what, 8 discs? 300 tracks? Like, come on. Like, come on. You already know where my vote's going. I'm not going to sit here and give you... I don't have to explain Rebirth, all right? If you played it, you'll know. You'll absolutely know. Metaphor, the first... The battle theme, the first battle tutorial music, apparently, is on par with final boss music in other video games. Like, I've heard the soundtrack is incredible, and being this Atlus doesn't surprise me that it's up here. Bearing in mind that, you know, Persona 5 is well used, and you don't have to play Persona 5 music. Play Persona 5 to know the music in the game. Silent Hill 2, believe it or not, I heard the soundtrack's really good for this game. Interesting. And Stellar Blade, so Shift Up always create banger soundtracks for flipping mobile games, let alone their full game. And I've heard the soundtrack for this game is top tier too. That being said, not said in chat, has to be Rebirth. Right, now this is where it gets technical, because you got best audio design. So this is where the in-game audio brings and adds the element to the game that matters. That bro didn't just write COD properly. Wait, you guys seriously saying COD? What, bullets going around you? Right, we'll get there. Right, Astrobot. So, I think that I'm only going off the original Astrobot that I played. I imagine it's kind of similar. But the sound effects aren't part of the gameplay. I feel like Hellblade 2 is right to be here, by the way. I don't know if there's a hot take. I don't like sounds coming out of my controller, because I play with headphones. So I know, I get why they do that, but I play with headphones, so I never hear it, and it gets really annoying. So unless they created an option where you can have the sounds come through your headphones or through the game audio. And I know a lot of people don't like that. It's like people who complain about haptic feedback. It's not for everybody. So, I don't know how, but it's clever how they do that stuff. Don't get me wrong, but it's just, you saying that really just kind of like, I'm hoping that there's a setting for it. Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Look, I guess they had to put them in somewhere in the awards. Actually, surprisingly, I've heard Black Ops 6 isn't the worst COD game. I've heard it's pretty decent. I'm interested in the zombies as well. So, but for audio design, I think, of all things, I don't think this is the category for
Hello there.
I don't play COD for its sound design and its audio, alright? I play it for its, you know, like, how's it going, Stone? Good to see you. Yeah, adaptive triggers aren't for everybody because it irritates their hands, but, you know, I like adaptive triggers and haptic feedback, but it's not for everybody, so I totally understand that. Like sound out of control, that bothers me. Final Fantasy Rebirth. It's hard to not vote for this as well. Look, they blended a lot of the sound effects to the music really well. It isn't just the soundtrack and the score that makes Final Fantasy Rebirth sound top tier. All right, I know I just sound like a Rebirth shill. It's like if you go into an Elden Ring stream right now and they're doing the same thing as me, they're gonna be like, Shadow of the Erdtree is the best for everything. Like I know how I sound, but come on, they do nail the sound in the game as well. Like the timing, the walking through a certain forest on the last chapter of the game, you know, like certain things like that were just like perfectly implemented. Hellblade 2, I haven't played it, but if it's anything like the first one, the whole game is about using sound to get through the game. Great to see it here. Silent Hill 2 also probably deserve, these two deserve to be there. They're probably the best for this. They're probably the best for this. I'm actually going to cast my vote to that, even though I haven't played it, just because I have faith in it. Yeah, it does have nice transitional tracks. I agree. How's it going, Delphi? But I gave the score to Rebirth, so, and, you know, I couldn't think of an exact example. Right, here we go. Best performance. So these are actors and actresses that, they did it last year. So this is another good year for Square, because we had Ben Starr, whichever year it was. I think it was the year before or year last year. Must have been the year before. Whenever Final Fantasy 16 was up for Game Awards. My guess is that's 2022, right? So Square once again have made it. With Brianna Wright playing Aerith. I actually think that Yuffie was the best voice actress in Rebirth. She brought that character alive in ways that we didn't think. I think Aerith is 100%. No, I think Yuffie is 100% the best voice actress in Rebirth. They not only took a character that most people, and Elena as well, but they can always pick the main cast. But they took a character most people don't care about and brought her to life in ways that you love her a bit, right? She also doesn't follow it true. But it is good. I do think that she's nailed Aerith, though. She captured, even from Remake, she captured Aerith's sassiness to Aerith being Aerith all the way through. And I think she really has done a great job of Aerith. But I think that of the whole cast. I think the whole cast of Rebirth have nailed their voices. Like, they have absolutely nailed it. The voice director's nailing Remake and Rebirth. Crisis Core Reunion, not so much. There was some, we all know what the issues are with that. But like Remake and Rebirth, they've absolutely nailed. It feels like them. Or every character feels like the right character, you know. Life is Strange. I don't know anything about Life is Strange. 2 Squares though. 2 Square games made it here. Star Wars Outlaws. Now. We can't give shade to the voice actress because Star Wars, right? We can't give shade to the voice actress because Ubisoft did a bad game, all right? Or average game, all right? But, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Like, you know, whatever. Silent Hill 2 probably nailed it for Roberts. People love that game, so if you nailed the main character of the game, he's done a great job. And Melina Jurgens, who did the main character, well, she nailed it in Hellblade 1, so she must have nailed it in Hellblade 2. Still gonna vote Brianna though. Yeah, I bet he nailed it. And that's a situation where if you get that character wrong, people will be like, smash keyboarding, you know, keyboard worrying, you ruined my Silent Hill 2. You know, like, you know, it's like getting Joel wrong in The Last of Us, you know, like you have to have the right, you know, voice for it. But you know, I'm supporting Rebirth wherever I can, guys. We're Square fans. Can you have to get behind it. All right. Okay. But Star Wars woman looks the best. I mean, bro ain't lying. Right. So okay. But that's not what we're voting for, Trev. Melina won it in 2017. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know she won it before. I hope she did. If she wins it as well, I'd be really happy for her. Honestly, if Hellblade deserves more praise than it gets. Honestly, I was disappointed after playing Hellblade 1. The Hellblade 2 got so much crap on it. And I don't think that's because the game's bad. And I haven't even played it. I think it's just because the wrong people are playing it. And they release it on Xbox where they don't care about this kind of gameplay on Xbox. Sorry, Xbox. Well, okay, I shouldn't say it as a generalistic, but it's not in line. It's like release RPGs aren't that popular on there either. Yeah, it blew her up. It blew up her. Like, you know, yeah, that's really cool. That's really what a story that is. From a video editor to you know. Okay, what we got here? Innovation and accessibility. Oh god, here we go. She's Andy Serkis. Speaking of Andy Serkis, he's going to be in Expedition 33. Which is the game we're playing next year. Okay. Innovation and accessibility. Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, content to help gamers play even wider audience. So I like the category. Make it very clear. I like the idea of the category. I think we've got all the wrong games in here though. A game that does accessibility makes it so people that have real disabilities that can't play the game conventionally will have to, you know, that the games do things to help these people play the game. Making a game easy isn't that. People don't want games to be easy. Anyway, I don't know what Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is. I imagine I've added a bunch of settings. Diablo 4. Star Wars Outlaws. Prince of Persia. Is that the that's the roguelike, right? I'm fairly certain that's the roguelike. Oh gosh. It's like Dead Cells. Why is that in it though? Oh, is it not? Is it something else? It is the roguelike. No, it's not the roguelike. It's the platformer. Okay, accessibility. Let's have a look at the accessibility. The only way to do this is to look at what accessibility features are in it. I don't want cookies. Right, accessibility in Prince of Persia. Aim assist? Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Sound speech, bubbles that enable subtitles, controls, visuals. I mean, that's not what I was looking for. I don't think any of these games... I think the category is good. I think these are the wrong games for it, though. These are just popular games that couldn't make it to Game of the Year. So we're giving Blizzard and BioWare and Ubisoft. Ubisoft, EA, Blizzard, Activision. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. What do I do? That's not what accessibility is, though. One, I don't think that's funny. And two, I think that he just doesn't understand what accessibility is either. Making a game easy isn't accessible. Like, it's about opening the game up to people that... It's about when you go into the settings menu and there's things that people that can... If you have something that doesn't allow you to play the game conventionally, that can fix that for you. You know, it just feels like they've really ruins this here. I'm really not, because last year they got this right and this year they didn't. Colorblind mode's a good example of an accessibility feature. Thank you, Yags. You know, like stuff like that is what's good. You know, indie games nail this all the time, by the way. Indie games always get this right, yet I don't see a single indie game on it. You know, like that's my problem with it. It's like that's what accessibility should be. Yeah, I agree. Let's break. It says Ubisoft, but we'll vote this one because it's unconventional, and this game actually looked good. This game was actually a good game out of Ubisoft, but it weren't, you know, their main one. We'll give it to Prince of Persia. All right, we'll give it a. I ain't expecting anything for Diablo 4. It's a disaster, and also it's DLC. That's Diablo 4 DLC, by the way. Games for impact. A thought-provoking game with prefer. Well, we already know where my vote's going, chat. Okay, so this is also a great category. I don't know what Close to the Distant is. I think we saw a trailer for it once. I don't know what IndyCar is. I think these are games that definitely have a niche audience, right? These are the niche audience games, right? These are the niche audience games. That's why Neva is a game that I don't recommend to everybody. I recommend it to people who I know will like the game. They all have a connection, the kind of thing. Hellblade 2, Neva, great experience. Life is Strange, again, another example of it's niche, it's not for everybody, so people just crap on it and haven't tried these games, or have tried it and moved on, or they're not interested, shouldn't comment on it, really. Or if you tried it and then say it's not for me, that's fine. But to say they're objectively bad means I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, all of these games I know tiny enough. Well, okay, I don't know about these two, but these four I know enough about to know what they're for. Neva I played. Hellblade 2 is also another game that could be is exactly in here. Thought-provoking, pro social meaning. I mean, I don't like that word there because it feels like people will be like, oh, you know, people who call everything woke these days will probably think that's what these games are trying to do. When in reality, it's a game that creates a message within a game that you didn't see coming. Like Gris in Neva, it tells a story through art, music, design, and makes you sob by the end of it. Not necessarily always sob, but you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, Neva was an amazing game, and I think it deserves it. My vote is Neva 2. Best ongoing. Okay, so here's the other game that I thought would have been up for Game of the Year this year. So best ongoing, awarded for the game outstanding development ongoing that involves the player experience over time. Destiny 2. Bro, just released Destiny 3 already. The player base is so much smaller than what it used to be. Like, you're still going? Come on, this. Still charging $70 per DLC. Speaking of DLC, right? Look at this. Look, right, for example, right? They charge like $70 for their DLC Destiny, right? Destiny fans don't argue it. Elden Ring released a $40 DLC. Gets nominated for the Game of the Year. Look at the difference. At least Elden Ring delivered a good DLC. Okay, I shouldn't say it. But Destiny have had some bad ones as well as good ones. You know, like, originally they did great patches. So I used to be a Destiny 2 fan. I used to like Destiny as well. Destiny 1 and 2. Diablo 4. So I did hear the DLC of this is good for Diablo fans. But again, 99% of the players stopped playing the game on release. I'll never forgive Blizzard for what they did. They had an opportunity to come back here. They didn't. So they'll never get that vote for me. Final Fantasy 14. Oh, I guess that's Dawntrail, right? Any Final Fantasy 14 players in chat? Anyone want to tell me that Dawntrail is the best DLC you've ever played? No, it's not. There you go. Is it not even the best DLC in 14? I mean, that's what it is. I guess it's MMO as well, but has Final Fantasy 14 done anything in the last 12 months that makes the game feel different to the year before? Outside of Dawntrail, including Dawntrail, if you want. Or is it just, okay, more story? You all know where my vote's going here, by the way. It doesn't sound like many. In fact, Gags says that he plays Final Fantasy 14 and doesn't feel like there's anything fresh about the game. Endwalker is one of the best, I reckon. 14 was met to you, only played it for the community thing. Oh yeah, because Neon and you guys all play, don't you? But yeah, I was just curious because I know there's a lot of people who play 14. So yeah, Fortnite, it's always in there. I bet Fortnite wins as well. Helldivers 2. So Helldivers 2 was booming. But let's go back to March. Let's go back earlier in the year. Helldivers 2 was laughing, flying. I would have said could have been contender for the game of the year. Best modern live service game released recently, right? The only one that would contender it would be not Deadpool. What's that game that's League of Legends but not League of Legends and it's like an FPS game? That game, but that hasn't officially released yet, so that'll be next year's one. What's that? Anyone remember the name of the game? Yeah, anyway. Someone will say the name of the game in a minute. Not League of Legends. I'm not talking about League of Legends. I'm talking about, it's called Dead something, I'm sure it is. Quick, someone tell me the name of the game. Not Deathloop. Deathloop. No, it's not Deathloop. But I don't know. Anyway, right. So, ongoing, I should see as live service or actively got an active player base. Hellblade 2 came out of nowhere. The traders looked awful for it last year, and I was like, this game just looks really bad. Then it released, and people say it's one of the best multiplayer games I've played in ages. In fact, it makes Destiny 2 look like a baby game. So, and then the Sony thing happens, and that's not the devs' fault, by the way. That's not Arrowhead Games' fault. There was this, you need the PSN ID to play the game. It's caused issues for a game that's already out. But I don't think that the game should be handicapped for that. So we're going to give Helldivers its flowers, because I think it just deserves something. Best community support. So this is, oh god, Baldur's Gate 3 will probably win this. Recognizing the game for outstanding community support, transparency, responsiveness, and positive. They got this last year. They shouldn't get it twice in a row, but they have done great. I don't think Square are doing anything to really listen to their community, because I remember watching a video on stream with you guys a year ago and everyone was like, yeah, there's nothing on the end game anymore. It's boring. Fortnite is the same game it's been since the beginning, just with new maps. No Man's Sky, because No Man's Sky is always there. People think they're amazing. Let's just give it to these guys. They brought it back. They brought it back anyway. There we go. Right, a real category. Okay, well those were interesting categories to be fair, but just like, you know. Damn, what's that game called? Right, best indie game of the year. Animal Well, Balatro, L'Oreal, and the Laser Eyes. I need a new tab. Excuse me. Okay. What? I think I've seen people have this as their titles, but heck is this game? Okay, I have no idea what this game is. Don't know how I missed this one, but Balatro, I get the feeling Balatro is going to win this, by the way. Oh no, what do I vote for? Okay, so this is a really good set of games on here. Animal Well, for those of you who don't know who, you know, the YouTuber Donkey made this game. He pursued his passion. Made Animal Well. We played a bit of it on stream. Incredible video game. I'm very likely to vote for this actually out of the water bit. Balatro. We already know about Balatro. Already an indie game's up for indie game of the year. It's probably gonna win the indie game of the year as well. Just like Sea of Stars did last year. In fact, Sea of Stars went up for game of the year, was it? Was Sea of Stars even the main contender? I don't think it was, right? But it won indie game of the year. Yeah, it's got high reviews. It must have. Neva. Look, I love Neva, but I don't think it's indie game of the year. I don't think it's indie game of the year. I think it's very niche. But I do think it's nice to see it in there. I'm loving the love for Neva right now. So good. UFO 50. So I don't know if you guys have heard of UFO 50, but basically it's like 50 NES games, but they're not old NES games. They're freshly created and they're just as hard. SNES and NES fans, you should check out UFO 50. The Heroes, you might like it. Like it's that era of gaming, but just a bunch of new ones made by the devs, the new devs. There's people who grew up playing those games and they made them into 50 other games in like one collection, I think. I was watching someone play it the other week, and I was like, dude, these games look fun. Like, I'm definitely going to be playing this on stream at some point in the near future, because this game is just taken over. But I love the concept for this. 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 I don't know enough about this game, so I can't vote it. I'm going to vote Animal Well on this one. Personally for me. But it depends on how you feel about it. I think Animal Well is the one for me here. I think I love the concept it's right, and then we've got debut indie game, which is basically not their first game. Look, sorry. Those were okay, so this is where I probably should break things up. If you're gonna be up for debut, don't put you up for indie game of the year. You know, one or the other. I feel like if you're a debut indie game, you shouldn't be up for the other ones. A bit unfair to other indie games that have made more than one game. Thank God Silksong didn't come out this year, because we know who would win these categories, or at least the previous one. The Plucky Squire. I actually heard this was really good. The Pacific Drive, know nothing about. Manor Lords, I've heard loads about. Manor Lords has a big fan base. That is true, Rod. I don't disagree. That's a good point. These are both done amazing. I'm going to give it to Animal Well again. But Balatro does deserve its flowers for the impact it's had on gaming. I can't believe it. And UFO 50 as well. Best mobile game. Right, okay. So, okay. Anything that's not Hoyoverse, I don't care wins. Right, okay. AFK Journey, okay. Don't deserve it. Okay, I know mobile game is my jam, alright? No, ZZZ's not good. Like, it's like, we'll get there. Right. AFK Journey doesn't deserve it. They lied about their drop rates, got caught out, they had to change it. They've had two major controversies. If you're gonna lie about if you're gonna lie about your drop rates, and they brought loads of people in by offering tons of money to content creators to sponsor them all. It's very clever what they did, but they did what they did to think. I think Pokemon's gonna win this. I actually kind of hope it does. Balatro, actually, no, I hope Balatro wins. Because I think I'm gonna love Balatro. I didn't realize it's mobile, by the way. Also, when's Vampire Survivors DLC? Pokemon trading card game. Honestly, I'm not interested in TCG. You know, guys, how I feel about TCG. But it did. Everyone, out of all the simulator games, this is the one that everyone loves, right? Weathering Waves is basically if Genshin Impact had better character design and better gameplay. That's honestly what Weathering Waves is, except for it's not made by Hoyoverse. It honestly is. And anyone who says otherwise is just coping. It is literally exactly the same as Genshin. But it didn't originally look, it looked darker, and then they made it colorful because they listened to the Genshin fan base. And everything in this game is exactly Genshin. The drop rates, how the game plays, the silly side games. I watched things like this to make sure I have a good opinion on it. And I'm just not remotely interested in Weathering Waves. That being said, I hope it beats this one because I'm tired of Hoyoverse winning a category for a game that didn't actually do well. ZZZ did not do well in comparison to Honkai Star Rail and Genshin. Maybe because it's more of a niche game, but this whole TV and puzzle thing. Just... It just doesn't make it not the best, though. I didn't say this is the best. I didn't say this is the best either. I think these both. I think Hoyoverse released the same game with slightly different gameplay that they steal from every game. Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, ZZZ. Take concepts from every other game. Don't give me on a lot of other games, but everything, even include their side games, is copies from other things. Nothing about them is innovative or fresh. This makes more money, I think, but it's not about money. It's about the best playable game on a mobile device, apparently. It's crazy how much drama I know around mobile games. If they beat this, I'm happy to see that, but it's just a Genshin clone. It's weird to call Genshin a Genshin clone because Genshin is a clone of Breath of the Wild, and it honestly is. So, you know. Yeah, the thing is, AFK Arena did great, but then I found out very recently that they were lying about their drop rates, which means you're scamming your people. And people spend lots of money in these games, believe it or not. So, like, if you're gonna lie about your drop rates or get caught out and try and scam people, I can't support that. So, anyway, Balatro, give it something. Gotta vote somewhere. Best VR AR. I mean, I can't really. I'm gonna give it to Metal Hellsinger. I'm not. VR is just not for me, but Metal Hellsinger is a top tier game, so yeah. Although the Batman one looked good. The Batman one's out, right? We saw the trailer for the Batman one. Looked good, right? Anyway, Hellsinger. Best action game. Okay, this is where I get annoyed because there's the best action game, there's the best action adventure game. It's the same category! Right. So, best action game. Action-wise, Black Myth Wukong, I was like, man, Final Fantasy 16 could have been like this. Call of Duty 6, it is an action game, to be fair. And if it's like that trailer of the mission we saw, thinks the whole game's good, but I have no faith that it is. Helldivers 2. Fair. Stellar Blade. Fair. Also fair. Warhammer. So, this game, finally nice to see it here. This game did really well. There are people that love this game and swear by it as the best game of the year. Most people say that about the game they play. He says that he's voting Rebirth in literally every category. But yeah, it's nice to see that this game, because this game is like a modern Gearsy kind of game, right? So I think that it's nice to see Warhammer here and for action-packed stuff. I've watched a bit of Stellar Blade. I've watched a bit of Black Myth Wukong. I do think it should be between these two. I like the gameplay look of this style. I like the gameplay look of this style though. I like parry so there's no parry mechanics in this, and this game is all parry mechanics. So I'm giving it to Stellar Blade, believe it or not, just because I'm a parry gamer. All right. Action adventure. What's the difference, bro? Yo, Nintendo made it. Yo, let's go. Nintendo made it to the batting. Let's go. Okay. Does this mean, oh, it's action, but it's got a bit of open world? Like, where's Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree then? Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is an action adventure game. Where's my DLC? I would vote for that here. That's where I'd vote Elden Ring DLC. Believe it or not, that's where I'd vote it. Here. Is Silent Hill 2 action adventure? It's a horror game. Zelda's there, it's winning. True. Yeah, it's not action. That's what annoys me. It's in the wrong category. Is there a horror category? I can't remember. There should be. Horror's massive genre in gaming. It should just be a best horror game. I don't understand why there isn't just a best horror category. It's a massive category. Everything's Dead by Daylight and all this stuff. It's been going for a long time. It's a very massive fan base of horror. How is this not a category? But then again, there's no DLC category, though. Star Wars Outlaws. Zelda. I love the concept of Zelda, but I don't think it turned any heads. Prince of Persia. Yeah, okay, I don't think it's turning any heads. I'm going to give it to Astro. Because it does have that and the puzzles that has it all. And it deserves a vote from us somewhere. I'm just not into horror that much, but it's a massive thing. Like, I do think that... Here we go. I do think that Silent Hill deserves its accolades this year. Because I've heard amazing things about it. And I really like... I'm always happy to hear when a remake of a game has honored the whole point of a remake is to honor the original game, but recreate that world in a fresh way without it trying to replace the original. That's why when I see people say remake Final Fantasy VIII, don't bother, because people already crap on that game. Like, don't remake a game that has problems with it. Remakes aren't there to fix problems. They're there to give flowers to the original and recreate that world, you know? And Silent Hill 2 did that. Resident Evil 4 did that, you know, like, that's why those games deserve to be where they are. Right, okay, best RPG. Well, we all know where my vote's going, chat. But, no, there's lots of talking points here, okay? So, Dragon's Dogma 2 did extremely well, and I haven't played it, being that I'm a massive Dragon's Dogma 1 fan, but it came out the same month as that, pretty much. So, it's just impossible for me. Shadow of the Erdtree. We had a great time with that. We sat there fighting the final boss, 300 deaths later. Final Fantasy Rebirth. I've spoken about Rebirth enough, but yeah, you wouldn't know my vote's going. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Great turn-based game, by the way. Infinite, if you... like, Yakuza games are great fun, by the way. Really, really good fun if you've got nothing to play. I've watched a lot of Yakuza games rather than played them, and I've loved having them on in the background. They're so funny. Metaphor, ReFantasia, especially this main character here. He's one of the funniest main characters I've ever seen in a video game. Like, honestly, if you want a main character that makes you laugh all the way through, play Like a Dragon. He is such a funny main character. He's so good. And Metaphor reads Fantasia. Realistically, I think it's between these two. Well, I think it's between these three. Unfortunately. But I do think this deserves it as well, to be fair. But I don't think this DLC is better than these two full games. Yeah, but Rebirth's also an RPG. If Final Fantasy 16 was in it, I'd give it to Metaphor. Metaphor's original in its own right. Again, you missed my point. Like, it's not the same. I'm voting Rebirth. You don't have to vote Rebirth. I'm saying that it's definitely between these two, and they both deserve to be there. When I haven't played Metaphor, I've heard amazing things about it, but I look at some screenshots and I think it just looks like Persona 5. In terms of gameplay. Yeah, and combat's a part of RPG. When we say RPG, we think of the... These are the right games for. These are all RPGs. There's nothing wrong with any of these games being it. Oh, it's turn-based, is it not? Look, I'm not criticizing Metaphor. Why are we acting like I'm criticizing Metaphor? I'm just saying I would pick Rebirth. But if Rebirth weren't here, I'd pick Metaphor. For me, personally, Rebirth gave me the experience that I've wanted on a video game that I've wanted for 4 years. It really, really blew... I genuinely love playing every second of that game. All 300 hours of it. Alright? I loved getting that platinum trophy. I don't disagree with you, Trev. I honestly, I'm not arguing or disagreeing with you. I think Metaphor is also a fantastic lineup. If Metaphor wins this category, I will be like, let's go. I will also be happy for it, you know? I'm going with Rebirth. You can log in and vote your thing and vote Metaphor. I'm just saying for me personally, I'm picking Rebirth because of course I am. But like, if Metaphor wins it, they absolutely deserve it. They deserve to win more than the other ones outside of Rebirth. Anyway, Metaphor's are better than Rebirth. I mean, it's, you know, yeah, it's depending. Right, fighting. Oh, this has been a good year for fighting. Fighting games are on a rise right now. Tekken 8 was popular and then dropped off. Multiverses. Anyway, Marvel vs. Capcom Collection arcade games. It's just the old games. It's got the old. Okay, no, I don't. It's like saying remakes. Okay, so they're just ported the old games. These are just ports of the old games. Granblue Fantasy did pretty well for 5 minutes. Like, these all did really well, actually, to be honest with you. I think Tekken 8 will win this. I think Granblue did well until Dragon Ball came out, and is between Dragon Ball Z and Tekken 8. I think from what I've seen of it, Dragon Ball captures the essence of Dragon Ball anime. Like with Ginyu, Captain Ginyu, you can knock yourself down to 1 HP. This is a legitimate thing in the game. And then, you know how Captain Ginyu would steal the body? So what you do is you steal the enemy's HP. And then you win the game. It's toxic as hell, but it's a real thing in the game. If I had to vote, I'm gonna give it to anime. Best family. Best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of... God, where the heck... Oh, speaking of Nintendo, here we go. So Nintendo are officially just a family-orientated game network, clearly. The Plucky Squire. The Legend of... That's an indie game, isn't it? The Legend of Zelda. Echoes of Wisdom. Super Mario. Oh, you guys don't have to help me here. Princess Peach, Showtime. That came out this year. I forgot about that. And Astrobot. I'm sure Mario Party is good. I'm sure Mario Party does exactly what it's supposed to do. Is Astrobot a family game though? For family play? A game appropriate for... Well, it is appropriate for family. Irrespective of genre or platform. This is Sony versus three Nintendo games. If Astrobot wins this, rip Bozo Nintendo. I feel like this is the best Nintendo game that came out this year. I've watched a bit of Echoes of Wisdom. It looks fantastic. And if you like, I do think that this game deserves its flowers, but I'm going to pick Astro because I am an Astro fan and I'm a Sony kid, but yeah. Okay, best sim strategy. Age of Mythology Retold. Did it even do good? Right, RTS gamers, rise up. Right, did it even do good? I didn't even check it out in the end. I think everyone just... Even the Age of Empires streamers like played it for 5 minutes and went back to Age 2. Frostpunk 2? I've heard about Frostpunk. I heard Frostpunk did pretty well. Unicorn Overlord. I don't know what these are. Atlas. I'm gonna vote for the indie game, but because it's an indie game, and if an indie game can contend with these, but I don't know anything about these games, unfortunately. Let's take a quick look at. Let's Google. Browser, what are you doing? Right. Unicorn Overlord. Is it a tactics game? Let's have a look. This is what we're dealing with. This is what it looks like. It looks very kind of tactical kind of gameplay, right? This is the Unicorn game. You gain levels. I actually like the look of it, to be honest with you. It actually looks kind of like... But it also looks mobile gamey. I don't think it is mobile gamey, but there are, you know, this could be on mobile as well and sell. But I would play this. I would so I enjoy stuff like it. It reminds me of Heroes of Might and Magic, maybe as well. Okay. Oh my god, my mouse needs to stop doing that. My mouse! I'm getting a new mouse tomorrow, chat. I won't have to deal with this anymore. Right. Man and Laws we've kind of looked at. Couldn't it do... Where's that other game that came out? Do you remember that game that came out? That RTS game that we thought was going to be good, Heroes? It's not on here. What happened to it? Okay, this doesn't look like a similar strategy game. Okay, I can't even find a good image for it. Frostpunk 2. Actually, look, Frostpunk 2. New Chrono Trigger. What am I reading there? Right. Oh my god, with the terrible images. Oh, it's really hard to click and drag. Right, okay. Oh, it's like a Cyberpunk RTS game? I kind of like that. I like the, I think it's, oh god, I just remember Google sucks. Right, there we go. Like, it looks kind of good. I've heard about Frostpunk, actually, more than any of the other games. So we'll just give it a Frostpunk. We'll give our vote to Frostpunk. I think it wins. Not voting an age game is based, I know, but... I'm not surprised on PS5, but have you seen the PS5 store? Best sports and racing. There's no racing games on here, but okay. Oh, I guess F1 24's on it. F1 24, FIFA 25. It's FIFA, chat. You can sit there and FC sports all you like. NBA 2K20. So it's the same games on repeat. Yo, it's the same games. Top Spin 2K25. Yo, better is than this. And WWE 2K24. That game didn't even do that well. If I had to vote, I'm going to try and vote in every category to make it fair. To say like we're doing a thing. You know, if I had to vote, I like tennis games. Do it for Seraphic. I ain't voting WWE, bro. The game looked awful in release, bro. Like I heard it was like They had to update like 17 times. I don't just vote for things because I like, you know, because the real version of it's good. Where's Hot Shots Golf 2? That's what I'm saying! As a non-sports fan in the modern... The only sport I really follow is this, but I'm not voting FIFA because FIFA's a... Let's think. Reskin. They're all reskins, bro. They're all just reskins. What's the better sport? Tennis. Okay, here you go, top spin. We'll get to top spin because they won't win. There we go. I vote win to top spin. Right. Okay, best multiplayer. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, here we go. Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, or Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. So, in my opinion, it's Warhammer or Helldivers. I don't vote COD. COD don't deserve rewards, not for a long time. Yeah, this was one of the best live services. We'll give it. We'll just give it to Helldivers. Move on. Best adaptation, recognizing outstanding creative work, faithfully and authentically adapts a video game. But these aren't video games. Hello, these aren't video. Welcome back. Yet these aren't video games. But that's fine. It is a Game Awards, and if there's been adaptations, The Last of Us was on this last year one, right? So this show did great. There's a Knuckles TV show. I guess it's connected to the movies, right? There's a TV show of Like a Dragon? Bro, I might actually watch that. That's gonna be... Wait, I remember seeing a trailer for this, thinking this... I thought it was for a game. That's a full-on TV show? I'd watch that. I will 100% watch that. Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft. It's an anime. They made an anime of Lara Croft. Garbage? Okay. Like a Dragon, I mean, that can't be the... Yeah. So, it's gonna be between... Arcane, I heard, is insane. I've heard Arcane is... People yap about Arcane all the time. I'm gonna give it a... Yeah, I've heard Arcane's legit good, but Fallout was legitimately good as well. Fallout was as good as like The Last of Us, you know? Yeah, but I can't support. I struggle to hit on anything that's anything to do with Riot. If I was to pick a show out of this list of things I'm going to watch, it's going to be between these three. And I think I'd watch Fallout first. Because I have a better connection. Then that. I'm not interested in Knuckles, the TV show. I like Knuckles, the Egg Nut, but I'm not interested in the TV show. And I might watch that because I just want to see what everyone's talking about. I'm going Fallout. We'll give it a Fallout. Arcane's going to win that, by the way, so it doesn't matter what I vote. Death Stranding, 2 wanna be... Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. This is the most pointless award ever. Jeff, get this category off your stupid list. This is the dumbest thing ever. What is the point? Why are we giving awards for games that aren't out yet? One, GTA 6 is going to win this, but like, and that's unfair to every other single game. I'm not voting GTA 6, you can suck it. But like, these games aren't out yet. Why do we have an anticipated game award? There should be nothing to anticipate. It's like you're setting up next year's... Like, guys, clip this now. Because when we do this in a year's time, these 5 games will be up for Game of the Year. Clip this now. These 5 games will be the Game of the Year nominations. Alright? And then, when we come back to this, you can tell me whether I was right or wrong. Alright? Let's be real. Oh, let's predict next year's Game of the Year. Like, I hate this. Like, I don't understand why we're pushing this. Yeah, imagine if GTA 6 gets delayed till 2027. These games are confirmed to come out next year, no matter what. So that's why they're in this category. I don't care. Even if Ghost is on here, which is where my vote would go. Because I haven't played the first one, although the trailer for Death Stranding 2 looked Amazing. Even if Silk Song was in it, I wouldn't care. I still wouldn't be happy with this category. This category is a joke category. It shouldn't exist. Let's give an award. Let's give an award to someone, to a video game that hasn't released yet. We don't know if it's going to be good or not. Like, it's dumb. It's dumb. Death Stranding, Two on a Beach. The trailer looked like a flipping movie. It looked amazing. Ghost of Yotei. I'm most excited for this game for sure. GTA 6. I want to use the word overhyped, but they've delivered an every mainline game. But people just, I'm bored of people yapping about GTA 6, honestly. Metroid Prime 4, massive fan base for that. But these other four, two of these games are definitely gets more hype than them. Monster Hunter Wilds is probably, if I would say in terms of hype levels, it's probably, it's hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that's very, very tight, you know? I just think it's dumb. I think this is a dumb category and it shouldn't be in it. Another dumb category. We've made it to dumb category number 2. Right. Sorry. As a content creator, this is pointless. Right. This is pointless. Right. 1. Who, and who. Like, honestly, like, okay, I think I've heard of Queso. Right. Okay. I've heard of Queso. Never watched this stuff. Right. But who? Like, and this isn't me saying these are small streamers or like, and disrespecting them or disrespecting their craft. Right. I feel like she's here because we've got to put a VTuber in there, you know, like, and VTubing is massive, but I just don't understand what's this got to do with Game of the Year. By the way, for anyone's interested, there's a separate streamer awards hosted by QT Cinderella, created by streamers, hosted by streamers, made for streamers, right? That's where the streamer awards are. This is just done to say like, oh, we care about Twitch. Like, I've heard of Queso, but that's about as far as it goes that I've heard of. And how many of these are IRL streamers, bro? If I find out, I'll look up their names. And in fact, you know what? Do you know what? What's Queso doing right now? What is Queso doing right now? Does Queso even stream on this platform? He does, yes, right. What did he play last? He's been playing Just Chatting, Just Chatting, Just Chatting, Just Chatting. Okay, no, it's like he's playing some horror game. Oh no, that's the clips. Hang on, let me go back. I forgot Twitch is a terrible thing. Just Chatting, Just Chatting, Just Chatting. I mean, he does have games on his clips, so okay. Iluwan. Sorry if I butchered the names. Again, I'm not disrespecting the streamers, you know? There's no disrespect to these streamers, right? But is Iluwan the roleplay guy? He's a roleplay guy, right? No. But they all have Just Chatting in there. It's just a Just Chatting streamer. Again, another one. Right. Techho Gamers. Okay. Clearly streams on YouTube or like Kick or something because they're not on... Typical gamer. $693K followers. Plays Fortnite. Cool. I know Pecora is. She's a VTuber. But I said this last year. I said it the year before. I'll say it every single time. Right? This does not snapshot content creators in a thing. Like, I'm not saying this as I'm here creating content. I just feel like that. And this isn't disrespect to these guys. They've worked hard. They've got their big amounts of viewers. That's great, right? But I just don't think it's got anything to do with the Game Awards. And we could... This is space for DLC of the year. The horror genre of the year. Where Silent Hill 2 would take it away. You know? Like, where is the literal, like, hello? Yeah, thank you for the 3-month gifted sub to Dead Popstar, by the way. Thank you so much. How's it going, Fireshock, by the way? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the gift sub. Yeah, hope work is not too tragic tonight. It's pointless for the Game Awards. Like, there's a separate Stream Awards, and guess what? I haven't seen a single one of these get nominated in the Stream Awards. Wonder why. Like, it's just like, and I don't think like, Iron Mouse should be the one who's there anyway. She's contracted to a group of VTubers, but Yeah, this situation annoys me, but we'll vote the VTuber because, you know, cute VTuber, am I right? And again, no disrespect to VTubers or content creators, I just think it's got nothing to do with the Game Awards, alright? Again, best esports. There should be a... Do you know what esports by now? Riot? EA? Who's the other one? Valve? Just organize an esports awards, alright? Where every esports can go to one show and you can and everyone will watch it. Do you know why? Because, oh my god, it will make our, it's just, you know, best esports. Oh, this best esports game, to be fair. Omega LOL, never heard of it. Double Omega LOL, because it's League of Legends. Dota 2, Omega LOL, and Counter-Strike, Omega LOL. You know, like, it's the same 3 games, I guess, yeah, same 4 games that are going to be in every single year. And by the way, Valorant's boring. It's not better than CS. And CS is riddled with cheaters right now. Valorant's riddled with cheaters. League of Legends is always going to win this category. Dota 2 is always going to be second place. And by the way, this isn't a hot take. League of Legends wouldn't exist if it weren't for Dota. Dota came first, guys. Dota came first. Anyway, I'm going to vote Counter-Strike because I'm more likely to watch Counter-Strike over the other 4. Okay. So, this is another situation where people who are here voting don't know who these are. It's literally like, who? Oh, it's Faker. Everyone's going to vote Faker. Faker's going to win this because guess what? Hey. Faker's going to win this because everyone knows who Faker is, even if you don't, like, 90% of people, even if you don't follow it, knows that he's the undisputed king of esports athletes, right? But can you just have an esports award and take it out of the game awards? Like, I get you just trying to be inclusive, but bro, move on. I like how it's funny how they use the word athlete, but yeah, like I guess they are kind of an athlete in sport. I know who Alexi is actually because of Counter-Strike. He's Counter-Strike. He's League of Legends. I assume this is League of Legends. I assume this is I don't know, Dota. They all look like Counter-Strike or League, to be honest with you. In fact, this is League, and League, just because it's the same background. Vote Pedro. But yeah, I just feel like these are weighted categories. I'm going to vote Alexi, because I know Alexi is. And I don't want to vote Faker, because he's going to win anyway. Oh! Another esports one! We've wasted 4 categories on this crap. Right? Bilibili Gaming, which is Chinese. Genji. Oh, League of Legends, Dota 2, Counter-Strike. Wow. Crazy. So the top team for... Oh, look. The top team for League of Legends and the top... Oh, I wonder who's going to win this category, guys. T1? The team with Faker in it? Who's going to win this? I don't watch League. I don't care about Worlds, but I still know who's going to win this. Have a good one at the gym, man. It just doesn't need to be in it. Anyway. Oh, that's it! We did it! That's how they end it! You should put the Game of the Awards at the end. Player's voice. 3 rounds, 3 chances to vote. Have questions. No debate. What's this? Round 1 opens up. What's this? What does this mean? So what, we just type in the game that we want to win and they just... Yeah? Anyway, that is the summary of all of the Game Awards. We voted them all. And we voted Rebirth, Neva, Rebirth. That's 4 votes for Rebirth already. Hellblade. Rebirth. That's 6 Rebirths. I read every Rebirth wherever I could. Some of these are pointless. Neva again. Best ongoing games, we gave it to Helldivers. Indie game, Animal Well twice. Alatro for mobile game. Helldivers for VR. Stellar Blade for action game. Action Adventure, Astro Bot. RPG, Rebirth. Look, if you go to the Elden Ring stream, you'd see Elden Ring. So it's gonna be this is how it is. But you know, you're supposed to vote your favorite, right? We're gonna make Final Fantasy fans rise up. Do not let Elden Ring win. Family. We picked Astrobot because it deserves its flowers. We picked Dragon Ball for fighting, although I think Tekken's going to win. Sometimes I just pick the one that's not going to win intentionally. Well, everyone's kind of biased. That's the whole point. What's your favorite game? Bro, Trev, next year, Dynasty Warriors in any of these categories get my vote instantly. Just saying. That and Expedition 33 is all my votes to go next year. Alright? Dynasty Warriors Origins, vote. Sports game, we gave it to tennis because I think it's more interesting than the other sports. If I was going to play a sports game, it would be tennis over all the other ones. Multiplayer, best adaptation. I mean, these last ones don't really matter. But yeah, my votes are going to Rebirth generally, but that's my summary. That wraps up this year's nominations and votes for Game of the Year. We will be doing a watch party live on this channel, twitch.tv/Marshpad12. That's right, you ain't gonna want to miss it. Best watch party on Twitch and YouTube. So you're gonna want to miss it. Look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you for watching. Please tell me who you think of the Game of the Year and why it's Elden Ring DLC in all likelihood, because everyone loves Elden Ring DLC and we're like, Elden Ring's the only thing that matters this year. But I've said my statement. It's a great DLC. I loved Elden Ring DLC. Every second of it, it was great. But, and in fact, I watched tons of Elden Ring outside of this. I spend my time watching Elden Ring more often than playing it these days. But guess what? It's not a full game. And now people say, well, what about remakes? And this is my final statement. People say remakes shouldn't be in there. Remakes are games created from the ground up. It's not a remaster. There's a fundamental difference between remastering a game and remaking a game. And it's a good remake gives flowers to the original, but then recreates that world in a fresh, unique way and creative way. And if a remake is one for one in the original, it's a bad remake. That's all I'm saying. That's how I feel about the whole thing. Thank you for watching, YouTube. I'll see you at the Game Awards. I'll be the guy who looks pretty next to Jeff.